Hi, everybody. Brian Feldt here, reporter with the St. Louis Business Journal and editor of the TechFlash blog, which takes care of all of the startups and technology news that you would want to have in St. Louis. We're joined today by Kevin Harvell of STL Tech Talk, who does a number of podcasts focusing on the St. Louis tech scene. Kevin has been gracious enough to join us here and talk about some devices that are on the market now and give us a couple reviews. Kevin, thanks for joining us. How are you?
Doing well, Brian. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, anytime. So let's jump right into it. We don't have a ton of time here, but I know you got a couple devices that you can go down the list with, starting with the Galaxy Note 4. I know plenty of people have had some interest in that, so tell us about it and what you've expected out of it.
Yeah, the Galaxy Note 4, the Galaxy Note line overall has been always been very successful for Samsung. It was one of the first super big screen devices. As you can see, here's an image of it right now. One of the nice things about it, it comes with a stylus. So if people that like to draw and take notes, you can simply just write right there on the device. The screen is so large; it's 5.7-inch display, Quad HD, and it's not cheap, but it's available on Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, and Sprint as well. And again, it's a very powerful device. It's pretty much the top end Samsung device of their Galaxy line.
And how
And
much the stylus I know has been a little bit of a point of pain for some people and not working exactly to specifications. How is the stylus on this?
the stylus on it so far, from what I found, it works very well. They've really improved the technology of the stylus and the recognition using it. I mean, you can use it to flick things off the screen, or obviously to jot down notes, annotate things, etc.
Sure. So who would kind of be the ideal user or ideal customer for the Galaxy Note, the fourth?
The Note 4, this device is for business people. People that are on the go, they need that big screen where they can do a lot of multitasking by having multiple windows open, whether it's email on this side or keeping up with their Twitter feed on this side or just taking notes on one side or the other. That is one of the great things about it. It's got a very good, strong battery life, and with devices today, people are always on the go. Battery life is so important.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, next up, I know you have the Droid Turbo. So show us a little bit about that and your experience with it.
Yeah, the Droid Turbo is exclusive to Verizon Wireless, and the big selling point on the Droid Turbo is the fact that it has a 3900 milliamp hour battery, which is rated to give approximately 48 hours of battery life. Now, everybody's use case is different, and with battery life, obviously, like I just mentioned with the Note 4, that's what people look for. So if you're just kind of an average user, but you like to play a lot of games, like to watch a lot of videos while you're out and about, you don't have to worry so much how you're using your device. You will still have a lot of battery left at the end of the day. Most devices, whenever you look at the battery stats, you'll get two and a half hours of screen on time, and that's a good
Hmm.
judge for how well your battery is actually performing. With the Droid Turbo, I'm so far finding myself easily getting, in the 4 hour screen on time range. May not get the full 48-hour battery life out of it, but I can get well into a second day and get, you know, and just use the heck out of this device.
Hmm.
So it's a little bit
Any
smaller.
type of yeah, certainly. Any type of downfalls or kinks that you found in it?
So far, no. No, it's just a great device, a beautiful display, and it plays games and just does everything that you need it to with no problem. I mean, everything you throw at it, it just spits it out with no problem. It's a very fast device, network, and just device itself.
Sure. Well, next on down the list, we have the Moto X 2014. I know it's an Android. Tell us about that and your expectations there. Did it meet them?
Yeah, the biggest disappointment with the Moto X 2014 edition for me, especially after using some of these other devices, is battery life. They went with a 2300 milliamp hour battery, where compared to the previous model, it was 2200. So just a slight bump, but the new Moto X has a bigger display. They went from 4.7 to 5.2 inches, and also it's a true HD display, so you have the 1080p resolution. Obviously, that's going to be taking up more battery to run that higher display. So that was kind of my biggest complaint. It feels great in the hand. It's very customizable. You can go to Motorola.com and completely customize your own Moto X colors, even different kinds of backs, where you can have a wood back, whether it's bamboo, or you can even have different color leather cut for a custom back. So you can completely customize it, whether it's the different colors of the buttons or even the metallic band that surrounds the phone.
Mm-hmm. And fourth on the list, and certainly one of the most interesting items that I was looking forward to hearing you talk about today, was the Microsoft Band. Talk about that. I know wearables are getting more and more into mainstream usage. Talk to us about Microsoft Band.
Microsoft Band just came out last Thursday. They announced it the evening before, so Microsoft surprised a lot of people Wednesday night by announcing, "Hey, we've got a new fitness wearable." There's been some talk that Microsoft was getting into this area. FCC filings, etc., had been leaked out, and they finally finally released it. And the Microsoft store in St. Louis at the Galleria sold out just after the early parts of the afternoon. It comes in 3 different sizes: small, medium, large. I definitely recommend going to the store and trying these on, because I thought, well, maybe I'll need a medium for myself, looking at the measurements
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. But whenever I got there, I'm like, ooh, the medium's way too small. Even with the band being slightly adjustable, you can kind of slide it and adjust a little bit. So I went with the large for myself. The display on it is pretty nice. The display kind of needs a little bit more fine-tuning. With being early release hardware, there'll be some firmware updates. But if you're a person that's into fitness, keeping up with running, it has built-in GPS, so you don't even have to have your phone with you. It will automatically log your route that you just ran, whether it's 2, 3, 4, 5 miles, whatever your run was. It'll track that map, and then you'll be able to sync it up with your phone. And one of the nice things about the Microsoft
Mm-hmm.
Band is that it works not only with Windows phones, but also Android and iPhones. The drawback to using it with an Android or an iPhone is you lose that voice interaction with Cortana that is built
Mm-hmm.
in, obviously, to work with Windows Phone and the Cortana digital assistant. But the Microsoft Band is available for
Sure. Anything
$200.
else other than the norm that this does that the
It does good sleep tracking. I've found that I apparently do not get enough restful sleep. And you can also keep up with your heart rate. It measures your beats per minute. And normally I'm in the
$200?
like 70 beats per minute range. And it also, you can customize your workout, and it will definitely interact with that. You get your notifications from Twitter, Facebook, email, text, incoming calls. And you can also, use the Cortana to, send a text to somebody without having to pull your phone out. And that's just very convenient.
Well, great, Kevin. Hey, I appreciate the time this afternoon talking to me about some of those devices. For those watching, you can follow Kevin on Twitter at Kevin Harvell. You can also check out some of the podcasts. Kevin, tell us where we can see those at.
You can always go to stltechtalk.com, and you can find our STL Tech Talk podcast, our Codecast by STL Tech Talk, which focuses on software development, coding, programmers. We also have the Tech Informist. If you want to go to thetechinformist.com, and we talk with a lot of big names in the tech industry on that show.
Well, great. Thanks again, Kevin. I appreciate the time, and we'll talk to you all later.
Thank you, Brian. You're welcome.